Assalamu alaikum respected doctors, welcome to my YouTube channel MBBS and BDS lectures. Today is the fifth video of repeat revision course of periodontics, which is very important for NLE, MDS as well as for BDS students. In this video we will completely cover the periodontal ligament, mean everything about periodontal ligament, and also I will mainly focus on MCQs point, and whenever MCQs point come in slide I will highlight that MCQs point. First we start from periodontal ligament definition. What is PDL ligament? Now, periodontal ligament, cementum and alveolar bone constitute the periodontal attachment apparatus which anchors the tooth in the jaws. Mean periodontal ligament is the part of periodontal attachment apparatus. Other than periodontal ligament, in periodontal attachment apparatus, cementum and alveolar bone are present. Now, how we define PDL? PDL is soft, richly vascular and cellular connective tissue which surround the roots of the teeth and join the root cementum with the lamina dura or alveolar bone proper or alveolar socket. This is the definition of periodontal ligament. Now come to the periodontal ligament PDL range. This is very important for MCQs exam. PDL range in width from 0.15 to 0.38 mm. Mean how we remember simply? Mean 0.15 to 0.13. Mean half. 0.15 to 0.13 or 0.15 to 0.38 mm. Thinnest portion around middle third of root. Mean middle third of root where thinnest portion of periodontal ligament is present, and the width of the PDL showing progressive mean the width of PDL progressively decrease with age, showing progressive decrease with age. Now average width from 11 to 16 years is 0.21 mm. From 32 to 52 years, average width is 0.18 mm, and from 51 to 67 years, average width of PDL is 0.15 mm. Mean show progressive decrease with age. But for MCQs point, PDL range in width from 0.15 to 0.38 mm is important. Now come to the various names. These are also very, very important for MCQs. These are names. Number one, various names which are used for PDL is, first is the gomposis. What is gomposis? Gomposis is the peg and socket joint, and it is a specialized fibrous joint. Now here why it is used for PDL? Because our teeth are present in socket. It is a socket joint, and in fibrous joint there is a fibrous connective tissue, and also we known as our PDL is also a fibrous connective tissue. Therefore PDL is also known as gomposis, mean peg and socket joint. Second name for PDL is pericementum. Peri mean around, cementum mean cementum, because PDL is present around our cementum of tooth. Third is the peridental membrane. Peridental membrane. Peri mean around, dental mean tooth, membrane, because it is present around the tooth. Fourth is the dental periosteum. Like periosteum is the membrane which surround our tooth, which surround our bone. But the membrane which surround our tooth is the dental periosteum is the PDL. Like in other area, periosteum surround the bone, mean outer membrane. But in our tooth, the outer membrane is the PDL, which is known as dental periosteum. Next name is the periodontal membrane, because it is a periodontal membrane, mean around the tooth and also part of the periodontium. Next name is the desmodent. What is desmodent? Desmodent is a bat in South African countries which suck the blood. Here, why it is used for PDL? Because tooth receive blood supply from the through PDL. Mean PDL is like it suck the blood from vessels and send about toward the tooth. Therefore known as desmodent. And another name is the dento-alveolar ligament, which is not mentioned here. Dento-alveolar ligament, because PDL is present, dentum mean tooth, alveolar mean alveolar bone, because it is present between tooth and alveolar bone, mean dento-alveolar ligament. These are the various names, and these are very, very important for MCQ's point. Next, come to the structure of PDL. Like we know, PDL is a fibrous connective tissue, and connective tissue have cells and extracellular substance. Now, structure of PDL we divide into cells and extracellular substances. Then cells we divide into three categories. Number one is the progenitor cells, mean undifferentiated mesenchymal cell. Second is the differentiated cells, and the third is the other cells. In other cells, there is the epithelial cell, resta malleus, and second is the defense cells. And then differentiated cell we divide into two. Number one is the synthetic cells, and second is the resorptive cells. Synthetic cells are responsible for synthesis of material, and resorptive cells are responsible for resorption. Now, in synthetic cell, always there will be blast in the end, like osteoblast, fibroblast, cementoblast. Osteoblast are responsible for bone formation, fibroblast for fibers of PDL, and cementoblast for cementum formation. Next is the resorptive cells. These cells are responsible for resorption, and always there will be clast in the end, but except fibroblast. Osteoclast are responsible for bone resorption, cementoclast are responsible for cementum resorption, and fibroblast are present in both synthetic cell and resorptive cell, mean fibroblast doing both function, synthetic function as well as resorptive function. Now come to the extracellular substances. We divide extracellular substances into two. Number one is ground substance, and second is fibers. In ground substance, there is a glycosaminoglycans and glycoproteins. In fibers, there is a collagen fibers and oxytocin fibers. Now come to the detail of these cells, fibers and extracellular substance. First, we start from cells. In cells, the first cell is the fibroblast. They are large cell with extensive cytoplasm containing an abundance organelles associated with protein synthesis and secretion. For example, rough endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies and secretory granules. And fibroblasts have nucleus flattened disc shape, and diameter is not important. The fibroblasts constitute 30% of cell volume of PDL. In PDL, in cell volume, 30% of cells have consist of fibroblast. Mean in cell portion of PDL, 30% is formed by fibroblast. Now come to the function of fibroblasts. Number one function is synthesis and degradation of collagen. Synthesis and also degradation of collagen fibers. Therefore, it acts as a synthetic and also resorptive cell at a time. Second, fibroblasts produce structural connective tissue protein, for example, collagen, elastin, glycoproteins, and aminoglycans. Third function is secrete active collagenase and MMPs like matrix metalloproteins. Fourth is responsible for formation of PDL fibers and also maintain width of PDL space. And the last function is the fibroblast help in wound healing. Now come to the second cell is the epithelial cell. Epithelial cell are rest of malaise. They are remnant of Hartwig's epithelial root sheath known as epithelial cell rest of malaise. These are the remnant of Hartwig's epithelial root sheath cell which are present in the PDL. Next is the osteoblast. These are the bone forming cell lining the tooth socket. Mean it line the tooth socket and cuboidal in shape. Osteoblasts are also connected with the osteocyte through cytoplasmic processes, and osteocyte is a mature bone cells. Next is the osteoclast. These are the bone resorbing cell and tend to be large and multinucleated. They lie in the resorption. Base called house-shaped lacunae. Mean osteoclasts are present in the lacunae which is known as house-shaped lacunae. Remember, osteoblasts, where osteoblasts are present? In the tooth socket lining, but osteoclasts are present in the house-shaped lacunae. Next is the cementoclast. Cementoclast is the that cell which resorb the cementum. Cementum cannot remodel but may occur under certain circumstances, and these instant they are found near surface of cementum. Means cementoclast are present near surface of cementum. Next is the cementoblast. These cells line the surface of cementum but not regularly arranged as the osteoblast. Like osteoblasts are regularly arranged but they are not regularly arranged. These cells line the surface. Responsible for secreting collagenous matrix of cementum and arise from dental follicle. Cementoblasts are arise from dental follicle. Next is the progenitor cells, mean undifferentiated mesenchymal cell. All connective tissue including PDL contains progenitor cell or synthetic cell. They have capacity to undergo mitotic division, exhibit classic feature of stem cell like small size, responsiveness to stimulating factor. And progenitor cell have slow cycle time, small closed face nucleus and very little cytoplasm. Next is the MAST cells. MAST cell is a granules contain, mean MAST cell have granule. These granule contain heparin, histamine, serotonin in some animals. Degranulate in response to antigen antibody reaction on its surface. Important role in regulating endothelial and fibroblast cell population, and MAST cell produce specter associated with anaphylaxis. Next is the macrophages. serve as a scavenger and aid in detoxification. These are all about cells of PDL. Now come to the ground substance. Ground substance contains 70% of water. Mean in ground substance there is a 70% of water, which is very important for MCQs point, and 65% volume of PDL. Mean ground substance is the consist of make the 75% volume of PDL, and ground substance contain 70% water in its composition. And the next two main component is the number one is the glycose aminoglycans, which consist of hyaluronic acid, and proteoglycans, which contain chondroitin sulfate and dermatin sulfate. And next is the glycoproteins, which consist of fibronectin and laminin. This is all about ground substance. But here the 70% of water is very important, and 65% volume of PDL is very, very important. After ground substance, come to the collagen fibers of PDL. It is a protein. What is collagen fibers? It is a protein composed of amino acids like glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, hydroxylysine. Amount of collagen determined by its hydroxyproline content. Now, in fibers, in collagen fibers, the principal fibers are very, very important. These are the 6 types. Principal fibers like transeptal fibers, alveolar crest group, horizontal group, oblique group, apical group, interradicular group. Now come to the detail of these principal bundles, principal fibers of PDL. There are 6 groups. Number 1 is the alveolar crest group. Alveolar crest group. Here in diagram below figure 0.8, the alveolar crest group is mentioned here with number 1, alveolar crest group. And alveolar crest group run from cementum at the neck of the tooth and enter into the alveolar crest of alveolar bone. This is the alveolar crest group. Second is the horizontal fibers, and horizontal fibers are mentioned here in figure 8 by number 4. Number 4 is the horizontal fibers, and horizontal fiber run from cementum to the alveolar bone horizontally. Run from cementum to alveolar bone, enter into the alveolar bone, but in a horizontal fashion. Third is the oblique group. These fibers go obliquely, in oblique direction. And here in figure 8, oblique group is highlighted by point 2 is the oblique group. Oblique group. And oblique fibers form the main component of the ligament and run from bone in a slightly apical direction to inserted into the cementum, so that they appear to be suspending the tooth in socket. This is the oblique group, go in a oblique direction. And remember, alveolar crest group run from tooth cementum and enter into the bone. Horizontal fiber also run from tooth cementum and enter into the bone, but oblique fiber originate from bone and inserted into the cementum. This is the basic difference in these 3 fibers, and these are very, very important for MCQ's point. Fourth is and oblique fiber form the main component of the ligament. The main component of the ligament MCQs come like that. which principal fiber make the main component of the ligament? This is the oblique fiber. The fourth is the apical fibers. Apical fibers. And here in figure 8, apical fibers is mentioned labeled by number 6. 6 is the apical fiber. And apical fiber radiate from apex of the tooth to the base of the socket. Mean from apex of the tooth to the base of the socket. This is the apical group, like present around the apex of the tooth. Fifth is the interradicular fibers. Mean these fibers are present between the root, interradicular fiber, but these will be always in the multi-rooted tooth, not in the single tooth. And interradicular fiber are mentioned here, labeled by number 5, interradicular, and these are present in the multi-rooted tooth, which are found in the forcation of the multi-rooted tooth, mean where two roots are divided. 6 is the transseptal fibers. They extend interproximally over the alveolar crest, and here transseptal fibers are present, here mentioned with transseptal fiber labeled with number 3, and these are present between two tooth, and these are present, these are always present in the soft tissue of two tooth and run from one tooth to another tooth. And these the main important MCQs for transseptal fibers is they have highly regenerative, fast regenerative capability. And during my NLE March 27 exam, when I solved this MCQs, this MCQs was wrong, because they give option the fast regenerative ability of PDL fiber. They also mention collagen fiber, transseptal fibers, but I tick the collagen fibers, which is also right, but the most right is the transseptal fiber. This MCQs was wrong. Now come to the, after collagen fibers, 5 types of principal fibers of collagen. Now come to the second is the elastic fibers, which are present in the PDL, and these elastic fibers are 3 types. Number 1 elastin, number 2 oxytocin, and number 3 is the elonin. Now oxytocin are found in PDL, and elonin found in gingival ligament fibers, which we are already discussed in 3rd video. Now come to the blood supply. The blood supply of PDL is same like gingiva. The apical PDL vessels and vessels of alveolar bone. Here blood vessel and nerves. The PDL has a rich network of blood vessel from apical arteries and from vessel penetrating the alveolar bone. Here same diagram we was discussed in blood supply of gingiva. Next is the nerve. Nerve bundle from trigeminal nerve follow the blood vessel from the apex and through the alveolar bone to supply the ligament with tactile pressure at pain receptor. The nerves appear to be terminate a free nerve ending or spindle-shaped structure associated with proprioceptive activity, which is central to the control of the masticatory system in chewing. Now come to the nerve innervation in detail. 4 types of neural termination have been described. Mainly is from trigeminal nerve, but the neural termination are of 4 types. Number 1 is a free ending with tree-like ramification, tree-like manner. Most frequent the neural termination, the most frequent is a free nerve ending with tree-like ramification located at regular interval along the length of the roots, thought to be nociceptor and mechanoreceptor, per pain end is a mechanoreceptor, and this is the most frequent. Second is the Ruffini ending found around the root apex are mechanoreceptor, mainly for heat, Ruffini end organ. Next is the coiled ending found in the mid region of the PDL, in the mid region of the PDL, and they are coiled ending, mean coil shape. Next is the encapsulated spindle type ending. They are found associated with the root apex. Next is the functions of PDL. What are the functions of PDL? There are 4 functions: physical or supportive. Second is the permittive and remodeling. Third is the nutritional, and fourth is the sensory. Now come to the detail of all. Number 1 is the physical or supportive function. The root of the tooth is connected to its socket in the alveolar bone by PDL, mean it is supportive function. PDL not only connect the tooth to the jaw bone but also support the tooth in the socket, mean also anchor the tooth in the socket, support the tooth in the socket. Second function is the shock absorbing function. PDL absorb loads imposed on the tooth, thus protecting the tooth, especially at the apex, mean it is a like in shock absorber. The nerve and blood supply, the grown substance and collagen bundle all take part in absorption of functional stress and their transmission to the bone when force is applied to the tooth. And following event occur, mean the nerve, blood supply, grown substance, collagen fibers, all component of PDL take part in absorption of functional stresses. Initial displacement of tooth, mean when force is applied, initial displacement of tooth which is associated with intravascular and extravascular fluid movement through blood vessel, and as the load increase, the collagen fiber bundle take the strain and become extended. They are not elastic and they do not stretch. Third function is a permittive function. PDL is a reservoir for pluripotent cells, mean stem cell, which are mesenchymal cell and differentiate into bone forming cell like osteoblast, cementum forming cell, cementoblast, and ligament forming cell, fibroblast. This is the formative function because PDL is a reservoir of pluripotent cell which differentiate into different types of cell. The fourth function is a sensory function. The mechanoreceptor in the periodontal ligament monitor changes in pressure within the ligament. As force increase, greater number of mechanoreceptors are stimulated. This results in increased number of impulsing passing via the sensory nerves. In turn result in inhibitory impulses that reduce or stop masticatory forces. This is all about PDL. Now today our 5th lecture is finished. Now if you like my video, press the like button and share this video with your friends. If you are new to my channel, subscribe my channel by pressing the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon in order to receive my each new video notification. For watching my videos, I am very thankful to you. Thank you very much.